Alrighty, we are live for another watch party. It is the Nets taking on the Boston Celtics. I don't know why the hell that's happened with the starting five for Boston. Looks like it just refuses to zoom in, which is a bit strange. Hold on a second. It's a little bit odd. Well, you can probably just see who the starting five is. It's very distorted, but we should be all good. The Celtics are J-less today. They have no Jayson Tatum, no Jaylen Brown. So their starting five is a new starting five, which they have never had this season. Derek White, Drew Holiday, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. And for Brooklyn, we have a number of players back. Zaire Williams is back. D'Angelo Russell returns today. And I believe Noah Clowney is also fit and available. So let me just have a quick look. Yep, Noah Clowney is also available. So that's 3 players returning. Of course, Cam Thomas out for the rest of the season with only 13 games left. And him having picked up a hamstring strain, which has been plaguing him for 2/3 of the season practically. But this gives us a real chance to win, which is sort of, it's not good. Yesterday, there were a couple of games that occurred, but not good results for us. Toronto got smoked and Philadelphia, well, they got 46 points out of Quentin Grimes. They were up by 21, I think. They were up by 8 with a minute left. And they were also up by 3 with about 5 seconds left. And the Rockets intentionally missed and got the putback. So went into overtime and they ran out of gas. But like that would have been a massive win for Philly and therefore a massive win for us. Even though we didn't even play yesterday. But we did win the last game we played against the Atlanta Hawks, who gave us a run for our money. But in the second half, 66 points. And our defense got a lot better as the game wore on, especially in the fourth quarter. The Nets had 6 plays in double figures, and every single net scored, so there was no liabilities there. And we hit nearly 49% of our threes, 48% from the floor, and our free throw percentage was above 80%. So we thrived. We had another 30-assist game, the 4th in a row. And the offensive rebounding was massive in the second half. We only had the 1 in the first half. And the minute those offensive rebounds started to come in bunches, we performed a lot better. And same with the turnovers going down. The turnovers were pretty heavy at halftime, but we did a very good job of reeling that back in and almost flipping it in the other direction. The Hawks started to turn it over a little bit more. They also didn't shoot the 3 ball particularly well, and that was a big difference maker in the game, with a lot of other categories being pretty even. I'm very interested to see how this team performs today, though, because like we weren't looking particularly strong with the starting 5 we had the other day with Keon Johnson, Tyrese Martin, and Jalen Wilson all playing. But as has been shown for a number of games this season, they are very inconsistent, and we saw the better side of them in the last match. Keon Johnson had 22, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal and a block, and Tyrese Martin had 16 with 3 made threes. Wilson had 13 with 2 made threes, but I think you can sort of break down their dominance in 2 halves. We always had one of the role players performing in each half. Jalen Wilson had 11 in the first half. Tyrese Martin and Keon Johnson, I think, had 6 between them at halftime, but they end with 38 between them. So they were massive in our second half efforts. Even with Nic Claxton not really performing, Day'Ron Sharpe was out and about, and he ended the game in only 18 minutes with a plus 20. Max Lewis has been good in the last couple games, a bit of a surprise. He played 22 minutes, had a couple of timely steals, scored the 10 points and hit 2 threes. So he's been a nice little acquisition for the team in the last couple of games. It's going to be interesting to see with 3 new additions back into the team. We've now got two re-entries with regards to wings in terms of Zaya Williams and Noah Clowney. So I do think Max Lewis is probably going to drop out of the lineup, even with D'Lo back as well. That's probably going to mean Reece Beekman, Maxwell Lewis, and Tyrese Martin or Jalen Wilson probably cop the brunt of that minutes-wise, which is a little bit unfortunate. Geordie is elite. He is. He's I don't know what his. Well, he's got this team playing very hard, and it's been a joy to watch, like, a coach actually having a clue, because, you know, for quite some time we had coaches that probably didn't know how to coach, and it was very clearly problematic. Geordie just looks so much more switched on and does a lot of what we're all thinking. I think the problem is that the one thing a lot of people are thinking is for us to lose, but Geordie doesn't have losing in his rule book. That's not a part of his mentality. He's rubbed that completely out. So that, of course, is detrimental. But you know, I think it's a positive mindset to have going forward, especially for a new draft crop coming onto the roster. That's you want a coach that advocates for winning, because that can be severely demoralizing. If, as a young guy, you're losing for a lot of your career, that could force people out or have that sort of hold on them. And like, it also just, I just don't think it's healthy for young players to just see a losing culture. Like, even though we're supposed to lose and get high draft picks, we have the mindset that we want to win. And funnily enough, we are on... Well, I don't know what our record was last year. Was it 32-50? I think it was 32 wins, maybe. Yeah, 32-50. But with JV, it was 21-33. Kevin Ollie had us at 11-17. But like, to think that with a roster that's like, well, we got rid of Mikal Bridges, we got rid of who are we missing from last year? Lonnie Walker didn't come back. I mean, we haven't had Schroeder and Finney Smith for much of the season, so we've sort of taken away some pieces from our roster, and are only 9 wins worse off with like 13 games left. We could end up on like 27 wins. So to be 5 games worse off. You even look at the 2017-18 season, I think, the season before we made the playoffs out of nowhere. That year we had a pretty, like, half-decent roster. We had Allen, Dinwiddie, Russell, I think Alan Crabb and Damari Carroll were there. Our bench was a little bit questionable, but we had, like, some good pieces, and I'd say that roster was exceedingly better than whatever the hell we have pitched here. This season, there are some capable players, but I think 2 seasons ago, you would have looked at a roster like this and would have thought they're a lock for the worst team in the league. With Cam Johnson sort of coming onto the scene, bursting onto the scene as a 20-point per game scorer. I don't think that was in the like on the horizon. I don't think any of us could have predicted that. So it's just those little variables which have sort of changed the fate of this team, and I don't know if it's for better or for worse, but regardless, I have enjoyed watching us play basketball a lot more this season than I think I thought I would have. So an opportunity here to build on that. Today, Celtics have not had a game where they're missing Jaylen Brown or Jayson Tatum, so we're getting probably the weakest sort of team on paper you will ever see for the Boston Celtics. I don't know why my voice is like playing tricks at the moment, but hopefully that rectifies pretty quickly. I definitely think we can give ourselves a bit of a crack here. Especially, yeah, with Boston missing a couple of, well, their 2 mainstays, really, so integral to their system. But But that isn't to say that they cannot perform, because they've got a lot of capability on the floor. Even with those two out, Holiday a great defender, Derek White proven to be able to score 30, and Porzingis the same. Claxton above the break will pass to Williams as we get this game underway. He goes down the middle and is fouled going up. There's a whistle, and I think it's on Sam Hauser. So the Nets not wasting any time. They only had one free throw in the first quarter. Yeah, only the one free throw in the first quarter last game, but then they in the second quarter were unbelievable when they had like 15 free throws. And even though that was our lowest scoring quarter of the night, that was incredibly important for the Nets to remain in touch. Because it could have been another one of those 15-point quarters, and that would have had us severely disadvantaged. Williams at the free throw line, having made the first, will shoot the second, and that one rims in. So 2-0 start for the Nets. The Celtics will get into their first offensive set of the evening with D'Lo guarding Derek White on the outside. Interesting to see where their offense comes from. I think Pritchard will play 30-plus minutes. Porzingis gets it in the low post, shoots off glass and gets the whistle, and Cam Johnson's hit with the personal, and the Nets will regroup because that cannot be allowed all night long. Porzingis is going to kill you if he finds himself in mismatches around the basket all evening. Just a cardinal sin, that one. So one free throw for Porzingis on the and one opportunity, and that one is converted. So 3-2 start for Boston. Both teams getting to the free throw line on their first trip. Johnson on the outside, Williams to Claxton at the elbow. Russell will receive the handoff and go down middle, shoot with the left, and he gets the soft bounce on the rim, and that's our first field goal made of the night through D'Lo, who missed the last game. They're feeding Porzingis again, who does it all in one motion. He had Russell on him this time. I think we're going to need to be better at not switching with Porzingis because, as I said, he's going to cook. The Celtics will get the steal here. Porzingis with the interference. White with the handoff. And Porzingis completes the play, turning defense into offense. He's on a single man 7-4 run. The Boston Celtics have no one else scoring the ball yet. So Porzingis a contributor very early on in this game. Russell, high off the glass. It's off. Claxton wasn't able to rake in the rebound. And the Celtics will push the pace here. Holiday in the corner. Back to White at the logo. Now in another switch, it's Russell guarding Porzingis again. There was the knockaway. Porzingis had to take a dribble. He kicks it out to Holiday. They've got 4 to shoot. They're going to need to get one up now. 2, 1. Holiday, a deep mid-range. No. Rebound by Williams. Good defense by the Nets. Good work by Russell to knock away the ball from Porzingis, and it killed their rhythm. The Nets the other way have a 3-pointer. It's off, and the board by Horford. He looks to back down Keon Johnson. They have the size. White will step into one, and he airballs it, and it goes off Hauser's leg. And it will be Nets ball. So if Derek White's going to shoot the ball like that today, I think we're going to be very, very content. So 7-4. Williams going to look for Cam Johnson. Here he is up top. Williams will set the screen, but the Celtics don't switch. They're trying to free up Cam Johnson, but Keon Johnson will get it. Hauser went under the screen, and Johnson made him pay the price. So Johnson with 20 in his last 2 games. That's 20 each. Gets on the board here with a 3. 3 minutes into the game. They're going to feed Porzingis again, who looks like he's going to be the main focal point of the offense. Holiday's off from the outside. And Claxton will get the rebound and push. Williams, given a bit of room. Wanted the give and go. Instead, Johnson will drive it in and shoot off the glass, and he put a little bit too much on it. 8:40 to play. White, good bit of hesitation off the window. That's a good bit of defense by Williams on the recovery. And he killed the angle there for the Celtics man. Russell, catch and shoot try. It's good from above the break. 10-7 nets. They've hit a couple of three-pointers. They're getting a good bit of balance with the way they are scoring the ball early on. A couple threes, free throws, a make on the inside as well. Here's White. Horford up top. Back to Derek White. Across to Horford. Now to the wing. They're looking for Porzingis again. We deny it this time. Holiday works his way inside and gets the little turnaround hook shot to work. And probably was a little bit stiff to not get the whistle. Johnson's going to shoot another one over Hauser. And that's a little bit egregious. It's off. Rebound for the Celtics. They can retake the lead here. Hauser closed down well. White up top. Porzingis rolls. Numbers collapse. And we have a little lockup, which will result in a foul on Keon Johnson. I'm even more interested to see where the Celtics get their offense from on the bench. I know Pritchard's a clear option, but outside of that, they're going to have to delve pretty deep into their rotation, especially at the wing positions. There's another wrap-up, and Porzingis is causing a major problem here. I don't know why Claxton is guarding... Why is Claxton guarding Horford? That sounds so strange to me. Hauser. Moving three. Nope. Claxton with the rebound. Falling out of bounds. Gives it to Cam Johnson. Claxton will get it back. Claxton out to Williams. Another occasion where they go under the screen and an open three follows, but that one hits the heel as well, and White will nearly trip over as he redirected his run. And now the Celtics on the outside. I don't know where Porzingis was looking there, but he's just thrown it into the third row, and there was not a Celtic in sight. So, Russell bounces it into Claxton, and now Cam Johnson. Claxton fakes the handoff, goes to Porzingis and scores the two. That's a tough make. So that's going to be the test for Clax. Porzingis got a bit of size over him. And usually that's problematic for Clax. He doesn't really like to involve himself in the offense, but I like that aggressiveness there. Here's Horford on the back down. The kick out to Holiday. Swings it to White, top of the key. That one is too long. The rebound by Johnson. The bounce pass to Russell. Williams is the trailer, and he was open in the corner. He's going to get it now, but the Nets will roll it back out to the open side. White is guarding Claxton in the paint. Airball by Williams. I reckon Claxton may have been brought into the game, even if it hit the rim. White. Holiday, the drive, the kick out. He had an open layup. He gave it up for a three, and there was a reason for that. Because Sam Hauser knocked down the corner tray, and he has that ability to do so. And it's back to all square at 12. So, very mixed bag of results here, I feel, for the Nets. Williams thought about the three. Claxton's going to go at Horford this time and go off glass. That one isn't as fortuitous as the previous attempt. Holiday given a bit of room on the outside. Johnson was guarding the layup and the paint, and Holiday pulled up for three and missed. Russell nearly turned it over, but it lands in the net's lap. Johnson's three is automatic, and that is going to prompt a timeout for Boston at the 5:14 mark. There's been a fair bit of flow to this game so far. The Nets have led for a fair chunk of the game at the moment, and they are giving the Celtics a bit of a run for their money early. Apologies for not showing the score, but I hope I've been updating you regularly enough to say, well, to give you an idea of what the score is. It's 15-12. Let's just have a look at the box score. Yeah, I was a little bit laggy on the, like, my commentary's been on point, but the ability to recognize that you want to see a box score or you want to see the scoreline. Not so much. Cam Johnson hit his first 3-pointer there to give the Nets a healthy lead, or a nice little lead. He's also got 2 assists. We've already got 5 assists, and we did say pre-game, last 4 games have resulted in 30 assist games for the Nets. The Nets have made 5 buckets, and what do you know? Every single one of those has been assisted on. So if we go like this, that'll be a franchise record. If we get 30 assists today. Zaire Williams, the only net to not hit a field goal. Outside of that, we're seeing not the best of efficiency, but everyone getting involved early, which is nice and bodes well for our opportunities of winning. How good or how preferable that is, I think that's a different story. But so far, we've been happy to force Boston into shooting threes, and I think that is smart with Porzingis proving to be a threat down low. And if we don't deter the Celtics from that sort of option, they will capitalize. He's already got 7 points, a steal. He's already drawn 3 fouls, even though there's only the 1 free throw to show for it. But like Derek White hasn't started well. Holiday is struggling early on as well. So even though they're actually shooting the same percentage as us from the field, the threes aren't doing him any benefit right now. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you're new, we'll be back for Nets Pacers. I'm not sure which one. They're both away games at the Pacers. So either this Friday or this Sunday in Australia, or if you're in the US, this Thursday and this Saturday. We will be doing one or both. I'm not sure. Definitely doing one, though. So 5:14 left in the first quarter. And it looks like the wonderful bench option of Peyton Pritchard is into the contest. He has actually hit an NBA record for threes off the bench. Max Lewis is in the game, so they're giving him run. Here's a 3, and I don't even know who that is. That's how you know Boston are delving deeply into their bench. It's like Schleiderman or something, I don't know. Martin's into the game for Brooklyn, so is Day'Ron Sharpe. As we said, Max Lewis is in. What the hell? Keon Johnson is shooting contested threes like he's Kobe. Pritchard the spin, drives on Martin, is going to roll it back to the outside and give it to Derek White. Luke Cornett's in for Boston as well, so we're playing pretty undersized for all the size they've got out there. That 3 is off by Pritchard, and it goes over the top of the backboard and will be Nets ball. So Max Lewis has got the 1-leg sleeve today, which is a bit of a new look. Keon Johnson's gotten out of the braid phase. Or the cornrows phase, should I say. Here's Keon Johnson. He's going to pull up at the edge of the paint and hits that fluently. So lead is 2 for Brooklyn. Watford and Clowney getting ready to come into the contest for Brooklyn. Probably to fetch the remaining starters. Here's Cornett on the perimeter. Pritchard guarded by Johnson. That's great defense. He's forced the kick out. The extra pass to White, who steps into a 3. And that is all net. It was good defense. And I thought we actually forced the steal. Martin, good acceleration of the rim. Derek White, who? Because that was an easy blow-by. Derek White on the perimeter. He's looking and surveying the floor. He finds Cornett. Zaire Williams has been dumped off the ball. And Al Horford is going to be the guilty party. And I think that's going to mark his exit to the bench. Looks like there was a stray arm in there off the ball. And yep, Horford will sit with 3:13 to play in this opening quarter. Lead is 1 for Brooklyn. Into the game is Torrey Craig. Which I sort of forgot was a thing. Watford. Gonna drive, kick out to Sharp. He's gonna be given the room, and he splashes the 3 from above the break. Top of the key 3 is good. And that's Dayron's first attempt. Clowney's into the ball game. And what's going on? Is that a 3-second call? Yep. It's going to be Dayron who picks up the, is the issue in that sequence. And the Celtics will get a free throw after the conclusion of this timeout. What happened to the scoreboard? Yeah, I just forgot about it. Apologies for that. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets versus Pacers later in the week, so make sure to tune in for that. Okay. Let's just let's go back to the box score and see what's up. Looks like Cam Johnson's been stripped of an assist, so he's not going to like that when he's in the play to watch spotlight. But right now, I mean, Keon Johnson's been given the green light. He's had 7 shots already, the most of any player on the floor. And for Boston, wait, hang on, is it Shireman? Is that how you pronounce his name? Shireman. That's just so. I don't know why that's strange to me, but it is. The Nets' 3-point shooting's been pretty positive out the gate. They are 8 of 17, 4 of 9 from deep. Those are good numbers. Just exceeding Boston ever so slightly. Not many turnovers, not many free throws, and we haven't had an offensive rebound in the game yet. So that's probably why this first quarter's gone, in my opinion, extremely quick. Like, it's probably been only 15 minutes since the jump ball, or something along those lines. Just sort of mental. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, no minutes for Jalen Wilson tonight. He was a starter last game. So how quickly things can change when you're an NBA player, circumstance-wise. It's just like when you get traded, new team, new environment, it can sometimes just, like, the news can be dropped on you out of nowhere. And, like, with Wilson, you know, he had 30 minutes played last game. He hasn't had a minute in this first quarter played yet. That's a very risky pass across court to Derek White on the weak side. He's going to have to put up a deep 3, and that is just not going to work. That's not a sustainable way to score the ball. 2:30 left in the first. Clowney, body bump. Craig is hit with a foul, but I would have thought he was so ready for a steal there. So, 2:26 to play in this first quarter. Dayron Sharp is looking for an option. It'll be Clowney on the wing. Beautiful lob up to Dayron. Big man play. Well, it's unorthodox, but if it works, it works. Did so on that occasion. Shireman. Derek White, the roller is Cornette. The knock away by the Nets. They got in the passing lane and they have the numbers. The trailer is Martin. He moves through. The kick out to Watford. Martin relocates. He's going to have an open corner pop. And that doesn't even hit the rim. Or, well, was very, very close to being an air ball. Good play, though, by the Nets. Was just as good a recovery by Boston. Pritchard's three is off. Strong board by Lewis. He lost the ball and was just able to nudge it towards the Nets' favor, but Watford's just thrown it away and completely ruined that advantage. Goes vertical and then fouls the man. 1:22 to play in the opening quarter. We've had a couple opportunities to beef this lead up and haven't really been all that opportunistic. So 5-point lead. So Torrey Craig is going to shoot a pair with a little under 90 seconds left in this opening period. First one's good. Second free throw is also good. Lead is 3. Here's Martin in the backcourt. Getting a little bit of pressure applied, but is all good. Where we've got a bit of spacing on the floor because Dayron's parking himself in the corner, keeping Cornette on the outside and away from the paint where he could be more of an impacting presence. We shoot off glass, and I don't think he called bank, but Trenton Watford is going to get the 2 points credited to him anyway. And the lead is now 5. Lewis is guarding Derek White, so given that responsibility, which I like. So Derek White's going to hold here. He's got 7 to shoot. He's doubled. Now the switch. Driving on Watford. It's going to be a tough shot. The knockaway by Watford. He forces the steal. The Nets have the numbers too. It's Lewis who gets into the corner. Probably blew his opportunity to shoot, but he gives it off to Watford. It's off. Dayron fumbled the offensive rebound. It was right there in his lap. And Boston will hold for one with only a 1 second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pritchard will wait. Go across court. Get it back. And will now drive in. Forced into a kick out. Craig's going to have to put one up. And it is off. They'll get one off. Oh my God. I thought they were going to hit that. He wasn't even facing the basket and he threw one up. The Nets hold Boston to 21 points. Of course, they are missing Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But still, I mean, they've got some capable players on the list. And we've done a pretty good job so far to keep him well down in the offensive side of things. The lead is 5 for Brooklyn heading into the second quarter. And outside of Kristaps Porzingis, there hasn't really been much to rave about if you're a Boston fan. 1 of 5 is Derek White from the field. Drew Holiday is 1 of 4. And Sam House is 1 of 2. But really, there hasn't been much else. Pritchard hasn't scored a field goal yet. And for the Nets, well, we don't have a player who's scored more than 5, but nearly every net has scored. And that bodes well for us. We're shooting 10 of 21, which is not that far off 50%. It is well better than what Boston have produced, and they've attempted 13 threes already. They love a three-point shot. They average 48 on the season, but they are shooting those at an abysmal percentage. Yeah. 4 of 11 from deep, the Nets are. They probably want to improve on that. They have missed their last couple, but there's been some good looks in there. So I think they'll be, well, really happy with the way they've started the game, the Nets, especially defensively. Like, the closeouts on the threes have been pretty good, so we've paid respect to them, that's for sure. Yeah. But the second quarter is impending. Or is pending. All right. Okay. So second quarter about to kick off. The Nets of Clowney, Watford, Sharp, Max Lewis, and not sure who else. Tyrese Martin on the floor. No Wilson still. So they've prioritized Max Lewis over Jalen Wilson, which I do like, in fact, because I think Max Lewis has shown a fair bit in the last couple of games. So I like us giving him a little bit of leash, a little bit of opportunity, because if now's not the time, then when will be the time? Porzingis is back out there with Jrue Holiday, so probably one of the better groups they'll have. Lewis is well open for three, and that one's off, so unfortunate result there, because that was a great look. Pritchard's going to drive on Watford, but the opportunity isn't there, and he just dribbles aimlessly around. Now the switch, he's got Sharp on him, which means that Watford is guarding Porzingis. Pump fake, pulls up for two, and there was a whistle. So Watford has been a little bit careless with the fouls he has given away. Did he hit him? I mean, I didn't even see it because it got out of frame. So 2 free throws here for Porzingis. Hits the first one there. And the second one is good. 26-25. Let's see if this Nets group can sustain the form of the first quarter. They have not scored yet in this second. Martin across to Watford. Celtics dropping into a zone every so often. Watford, kick out to Lewis. Not much room to move. Creates the separation and hits the mid-range. That is a skillful move. And he did so on Jrue Holiday, who is definitely no slouch when it comes to playing defense. Here is Holiday. They're looking for Porzingis again. The trap comes. We nearly get the steal, but Hauser ends up having an open three. Although he is not good enough to capitalize, and now the Nets play through Martin here. The kick out to Watford. Well, it took too long to get there, so he's going to have to work off the dribble. Kick out to Martin. It's a good look. But the space wasn't there. He created it, and he hit over the top of the man. So the Nets, a good response. They haven't led by more in the game, which is sort of surprising. Pritchard is somehow open on the weak side, and that's going to be a practice shot, which he well and truly was never in doubt to convert. So 31-28. Couple minutes into this second quarter, Watford sees the roller, but the Celtics cover that one off. Lewis, the drive in, goes at the defender. No good. Good defense by Porzingis. Pritchard, the drive, the cross, the kick out to Porzingis from way back. Doesn't get enough on it. And Cornette got the offensive rebound, but it went off net hands out of bounds as they tried to wrestle back possession. Hauser's going to pull up from way back, and he just cannot find... He cannot find luck from the outside for his life. And the Celtics fumbled that offensive rebound out of bounds. So 31-28. Here is Martin. Whoops. I don't know why it didn't play. Clowney to Lewis. Back to Noah. Kick out to Sharp. Here's Lewis open top of the key. The Celtics left him open for an eternity. But Lewis hasn't found his shot today. Playing with a fair bit of efficiency on that side of the floor. Pritchard accelerates. Dayer on the recovery. Clowney saves. And Sharp will collect. The Nets have the numbers too. Dayron's going to relocate to the corner and try capitalize early in the clock, and he does so successfully. It's going to count as a deep 2, which is so demoralizing. Well, they'll check that. Holiday's going to try hit a 3, and that one does around the world on the rim. And that's off. Watford. More perimeter play by him. Here's Martin in the corner. Now the switch. Lewis thought about the 3. Jab step. Clowney's going to try draw a foul, and he does so. The referee fell for it. I don't think that was a foul, but that was a bailout, if anything. I don't think that's being disputed at all. So Clowney at the line to shoot a pair, and that first one well and truly lacking the power. Clax is into the game, returning after a good stint by Sharp, which would have been 2 threes, but one of those had his foot on the line. Russell back out on the floor with Cam Johnson and Claxton, the vets, if you will. Clowney splits 2. Lead is 6. Here's Pritchard. Johnson with a bit of on-ball pressure. High in the court. That doesn't even make sense. High in the front court. Here's Hauser. Sidestepping 3. That goes clank like it has for basically every 3-point attempt he's taken today. Cam Johnson hops. Passes to Russell. Step back 3. They leave him alone. You cannot do that. And we have a timeout. The Nets lead by 9 against the Jayless Celtics. And, yeah, you cannot allow those. I mean, Horford is playing drop coverage, and D'Lo is a capable 3-point shooter, so I would have thought that's a bit of a sin. I will be back in just a moment. Why have I not stopped the clock? It's 7:43. But yeah, I will be right back in just a moment. Won't be 2 seconds. Hold on a second. All right, we're back. Apologies for that. Let me get the box score up. Here we are. The Nets are up by 9, and they have hit 6 threes on 40%, which is a great number. Now shooting above 50% from the floor as well. The Celtics are not shooting the ball well at all. 3-point volume is very, very high, and they are not reaping the rewards of that. The free throws are helping them out, but they have committed more turnovers, haven't really forced many. Dayron, unfortunate to not have a second 3 counted his way. D'Angelo Russell, the top scorer with 8. Dayron with the 7 off the bench. And Trendon Watford with a team-high 4 dimes. We've got 10 assists on 14 made field goals. So I think we're well on pace to definitely hit that 30 assist number, which we are looking for in this game to break a franchise record of, well, 4 consecutive games with 30 assists. If we do that today, it'll be the 5th. So pretty good work here by Brooklyn. Alrighty. So 37-28 the score. Keon Johnson will return after that stoppage. Only change there for Brooklyn. Watford remains in the game right now. He's putting in some good minutes. Watford with the kickball, but it's actually not going to be called a kickball, and they got to fetch it in the backcourt. Holiday's going to have to make it work. Oh my lord. Why would you foul? With 0.3, we're going for the reach. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Who the fuck is fouled there? I think Keon Johnson, mate. That is just such a stupid foul to concede. You've already committed a foul. You've just picked up your second over something completely avoidable. And Holiday makes the first one there for Boston. Cater is in the game for Porzingis. Jalen Wilson finally into the game now, with Keon Johnson picking up a couple fouls. So we've got that extra man on the bench now, that 11th available rotational player, to sort of play the on-ball defense like Keon Johnson typically would. So Watford bounce pass to Claxton. Trying to find Watford here. He'll get it now. Cam Johnson playing off ball and wrapping round. He wasn't freed up. It was good defense. Watford's going to have to step back, and he does not convert on that 3-point try. Celtics down 7, looking to cut into this deficit a little bit. Hauser across to Horford. Good roll by Cater, and he scores the 2. Russell came over to help, but wasn't effective in that moment. Here's D'Lo. He's got another open 3, same spot as before. This one, a little bit too much on it. So the Celtics can go for 6 or 7 straight since that stupid foul. Late in the clock, it's Pritchard from way back. That 3, not a great bit of shot selection. The board by Claxton. D'Lo thought about another 3. We bounce it into Watford. Claxton's going to request it, but that is not an option. Watford goes at Cater and blew the layup. He has the acceleration over him, so it was an easy blow by, but he didn't get the little lay at the rim. Holiday going to back down Russell. Turn around. Good defense. Forces the pass back out to the top of the key at the logo. Horford, the roll. Oh my god, they've shot that off the backboard. It didn't work, but Hauser hits a 3. That is a typical Nets 3-pointer to concede. They fucked up the pass so badly that it worked for them. As if that makes any form of sense, but that's literally what it was. The deficit is back down to 2. They've scored 7 in a row. And I'd argue it's just off the back of a few of our misses more than anything. There's only one other game going on right now. It's the Hawks taking on the Hornets, and the Hawks are up by 14 over the Charlotte Hornets. Daniels is 15, Okongwu 15, Trae Young 16, and for the Hornets, they've gotten 17 out of Daquan Jeffries, 13 out of Curry. Like, that's sort of crazy that they're shooting 58% without Miles Bridges, without LaMelo Ball, without Yeah, like their main players. Without Brandon Miller, Grant Williams isn't playing, of course. A lot of good players out. Trey Mann's not playing. So the fact that they've put up 60 points in the first half and are shooting 58%, that's pretty impressive. But they're still getting smacked. Nets, well, they're forced into a timeout though. So they're definitely going to use this time effectively to regroup. Understandably. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. Nearly back from the break. Alrighty. So Nets resume. Williams back out on the floor. The Nets have all 5 starters out there except Keon Johnson. Wilson playing in his place. He's going to get an opportunity to score a 3 and he doesn't, but Russell's there for the putback. He got blocked on the putback even though he did it in one motion. I didn't think that was possible. The Celtics playing a bit more of a scrambling defense, and that is proving to be fairly effective. Johnson the drive. The Euro, he hangs and scores for 2 to get his second bucket of the game and get that lead back out to a 2-possession game. Roll by Cater. What? How is there a fucking blocking foul on Johnson? He was standing completely still and outside of the restricted area. I don't think you can call that a blocking foul. What? Well, it'll be Cater at the free throw line. Cater's good on the first. Back down to a possession. So both converted. Celtics have done well to claw their way back into this because it looked like the Nets could potentially get a run on. Russell. Pass to the corner for Williams, who will drive down the middle and attack Cater and get the angle. That's a skillful bucket there. Running away from the basket practically. Wilson now tightly pressing Holiday here. Playing for a rotational spot essentially while he's out there. Pull up 2 by White is well short. That's good defense by Wilson. Cam Johnson had the pocket pass deflected. He got it back. The kick out of Wilson. It's a great look. Wilson's off. Johnson somehow was in the right place at the right time. Williams is 3. That one's good. So Williams with a couple big makes in the last couple of possessions. Cam Johnson doing well to facilitate both times on those attempts. Derek White, the drive, blow by Russell, puts one up. It's a bad miss. The Nets are going to try run in the open floor. The trailer is Wilson. Claxton also goes up and gets the flush in transition. And the Boston Celtics, they will now need to call a timeout with the Nets having scored 7 in a row. They say it's a game of runs. And that is what we have seen in this second quarter. The Nets lead by 9. So it's not particularly loud in the Garden as it usually is, because obviously the Celtics fans get a kick out of the scoring that Boston get effortlessly on a nightly basis. But right now, they've struggled. I mean, only the 16 points in this second quarter, 21 in the first quarter. So, yeah. Okay. So the Nets will be looking to close out this half on a higher. I think if we go into the break with a double-digit lead, we can definitely hold on to that in the second half. I don't know if Boston have the firepower tonight. Although we are like one Peyton Pritchard run away from conceding this lead. So that is not out of the realm of possibility, given some of the performances that Pritchard and White have put up this season. Porzingis has had his minutes drip-fed, it feels like. Here is Horford. Holiday on the wing. 7 to shoot. Guarded by Claxton. It's good defense. Clock winding down. 3 to shoot. It's an ISO possession here. Holiday has to put one up, and that is a very, very nice move. I thought Claxton had him every step of the way, but a nifty move there. Little change of pace every so often to sort of get Claxton in a bit of an uncomfortable place. Williams the drive in. He lost the handle. He got it back. He saved it. And Johnson will move into a 3. And that was a good look too. It's off though. The press arrives. Holiday. Roller is Porzingis. That was not a good pass. Too much on it. The Nets do not have the numbers, but they did find the space and they were able to exploit. And it'll be free throws here for Cam Johnson. So good work there by D'Angelo. Good little bit of weight on the ball on that pass. The Cam Johnson, who was able to take it in stride and go to the hoop and have those Celtics defenders reeling. Here's Johnson at the line for 2. And that one rims out. And I think he knew it was off. So one more free throw here for CJ, and that one is converted. Lead is 8. Holiday moves through 2 defenders, goes, oh my goodness. He went at the defense, airballed. Oh my God. We've got a foul on Derek White. That is fairly soft. I thought D'Lo was going to get hit with the turnover for falling out of bounds off that little inbounds play in the backcourt, but we get a little reprieve. But Drew Holiday just like airballed a finger roll. Porzingis did well to ensure that those 2 points were still capitalized on or still converted. Russell steps back for 2. That didn't have enough on it. Rebound here by Boston. Holiday. Porzingis is open from 3, and you can't leave him open because he is a sniper from out there, and that is hit. Back down to 3. So the Nets getting out to a few 9-point leads, but that is as quickly as it reaches 9, it's going right back down to 2. So 47-44 the scoreline. Wilson to Johnson up top. Claxton back to Cam Johnson. They lob it up for Claxton. What a feed! That was way up in the clouds. I don't know why my clock is sort of taking the piss in this second quarter. It's all over the place. White, the cross. Porzingis backing down Claxton. Williams with the knockaway. He's going to get the steal. Run it end to end. Go at the rim. He missed the layup. And it's going to be out off the Celtics. It will stay with Brooklyn. But wow, that was a missed opportunity right there for Z. That lob pass to Claxton was not easy because Porzingis, of course, look at the length on him. Those long arms definitely had him a great candidate to interfere with that lob pass. So the Nets going to try it again. Nope. Johnson picks up his dribble. Needs help. Claxton, 2 to shoot. Oh my God, he's gotten swatted by Porzingis. And it is going the other way with 39 seconds left here in the quarter. Good defensive possession by Boston. And we were talking about that wingspan that Porzingis has. Well, it was on full display right there. So the Celtics can try execute a 2-for-1. Pritchard, Horford had an open 3. No, but Porzingis' 3. Also no. Nets will push the pace. Russell is going to be all the wiser to just hold for 1 here. 5-second difference between shot and game. So, Russell, beautiful bullet feed to the corner. Wilson was ready to fire it off. Porzingis will get the rebound. They got 6 to shoot. This is Peyton Pritchard areas right here, but instead Horford will try his luck, and that one's off. And it's going to be... Oh my God, they've called a loose ball foul with 0.4 on the clock. You were taking the fucking piss. So, that is just like a sympathy foul right there. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's run into the arms, man. What the fuck are you supposed to do if you're getting a rebound and the ball is there? Oh my God. That was very, very closely a chance for Porzingis to tip it in. That was a... that nearly worked, that lob. It was like Derek White was shooting a 3 from the sideline. But it actually worked out perfectly, the pass. It's just Porzingis had to contort his body, and that was not easy and quite compromising, actually. But that is the halftime break. Both teams go pretty meh from the offensive end in the second quarter. 23 points apiece. The Nets lead by 5. Let me have a look at the chat. Boston will still win easily. I am not so sure about that today. With no Tatum and no Brown. Love the Carlton analysis. Appreciate you. Thank you. Need 13 more for Johnson. Oh, I don't know if he'll get there. Did Cam take a knee to the jewels? He did. Tatum and Brown out. This is good. Well, it's good in the if you look at it from a perspective of winning. Which I don't know if we need. So, probably not optimal. If you want to lose the game. If we win today, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be ideal because we'll be back with the Raptors for record. And Philly and Toronto are making the tanking look a lot more obvious. Hopefully we get rewarded for ethical tanking. And there's a bit of rigging going on behind the scenes, but I don't think that's the way this is supposed to work or will work. Let me just update the player to watch, the man in the spotlight. So, Right now, it's pretty obvious what's going on here for Boston. We've got Porzingis with a clear 14. He's been their number one option. And he was their number one option the last game we played against him a few days ago. Holiday's got the 8. Pritchard only the 4 on 1 of 5 shooting, and White is shooting 1 of 7. So very clear in the second half. They're going to need to see improvement from a number of their key role players. Hauser's 2 of 6 as well, so that also is contributing to the cause. Porzingis is keeping them in the game. Because without him, their percentages would be very, very, very dire. They are 9 of what is it? They are 9 of 31. They're 9 of 31 without Porzingis, which is that is bad. That's like 30% shooting. The free throw numbers helping him out. The Nets didn't really have any free throws in that second quarter. Boston's 3-point shooting is 6 of 24. You are not going to win too many games if you're shooting the ball like that. And it's taking up such a massive amount of your field goal attempts. If you're shooting those percentages, well, it's just going to drag your entire team down. They've only made 14 field goals in the half, which is just not a good, not on pace for a good outcome. The Nets' 3-point shooting was not great in that second quarter. They went 3 of 11. And the same can be said for their field goal shooting, I think. But they are shooting substantially better than Boston. They've had 4 extra shots, but they've hit 5 more. So they are definitely playing a bit of a better game offensively, and that's why they lead. But that isn't to say that there can't be improvement. I think like some of the shooting's been a little bit off. Jalen Wilson, he's had an opportunity here with 7 minutes on the floor. Keon Johnson's picked up a couple personals and been a little bit unreliable with the shooting. So they've given Wilson a crack, and he's had some good defensive possessions, but offensively just being an absolute non-factor. But really, it is my best guess how this second half goes, because I think it would be clearer if Tatum or Brown were out there. I think they would take a lot more control. One of those players would take full hold of the offense, and that would free up these shooters, which today have had a bit more of a burden placed on them, and it's been pretty obvious and clear. So that is why they've only got the 44 points at the half, and they have not looked particularly fluent from the field. Let's just have a look at the team stats as well, which you won't be able to see, but I will be able to relay those stats to you. The rebounding very even, not many offensive rebounds to show. The assist numbers good for Brooklyn. They've got 14 assists, so they're going to need to shoot the ball a little bit better if they want to break a franchise record for assists or 30-plus assist games in a row. We were just talking about how the burden's been placed on Boston. They've only had 8 assists. So there's been a lot of isolation ball, a lot of non-ball movement, and usually they rely on a Tatum or Brown to bail them out and sort of create. But they just haven't really had that sort of luxury today. And these lesser lights are trying to score the ball. They're shooting 36% and 25% from 3. So if the Nets lift that 3-point shooting in the second half to somewhere around 35, 36%, I think that's going to really put some strain on Boston's chances of winning, really. Turnovers, there haven't been many for Brooklyn. Only the 3 turnovers. So that's a really, really good sign. Boston have had 6. So I think we've been very responsible with the basketball, which is what you love to see. The fast break points, though, that doesn't exist. 4-3. So a lot of those categories, which usually are a difference maker if one team can get on top, it's been very even and very low in volume. So those things haven't really been a factor on this game or in this game. So you really just need to look as surface level as the shooting splits and see where the buckets are coming from and at what efficiency. And it's pretty obvious that one team has been far more inferior than the other. And those free throws are keeping Boston in it. So if the Nets can be more disciplined or even just force the issue a little bit more and get some free throws, they will be in with a red hot crack or red hot chance of winning this game. They already are giving it a fair crack. But it's going to be about that consistency. What the hell? I don't know. This halftime entertainment for Boston is just looks a little bit questionable. I don't know why. It's just not giving the vibe. But yeah, so I don't know. It'll be an interesting situation in this second half. I already can imagine the anti-winners, the pro tankers are absolutely losing their shit, even though it's halftime only. Because there's still another half to play. We can lose this game. We also may just give it a red hot crack in the second half and actually surprise a few people. Okay. Someone's saying, keep CJ out the game. We got no business leading right now. Organization is stupid. He's got 6 points. He's got 6 points in the ball game. He's taken 3 shots. Yes, he's contributing to a few buckets, but my goodness, it's just like, that is just... He's not the main reason we're winning. Like, our bench is actually in the plus. I mean, nearly every player's in the plus for the Nets, but like, the bench has done more work than the starters, really. The starters have just had to remain level pegging with Boston. Like, I don't think CJ's been crazy this game. If he was scoring like a crazy bunch of points, and he does so in the second half, I can understand that argument. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So, yeah. Okay. Where are those picks sitting? That's why the Houston win yesterday against Philadelphia was like a double hit, because we like Philly now are on the same amount of losses. They would have been a game ahead of us. Not only that, but well, we have the Houston pick. And so if they had have lost that, I think it's getting conveyed a little bit higher. The Bucks, I don't think, won against OKC. So they picked up an L. They played today against Golden State. So that's going to be an important game as well to watch. So I don't know. It's going to be pretty interesting to see where these picks land. I think it's going to be captivating, actually. The rest of this NBA season, it's going to be chopping and changing, but I think those lower picks are almost as fascinating as the picks that are going to end up, or that pick that we have in the top 10, because, you know, with that, it's not a definitive, when the season ends, but those picks in the 20s, they could like drop as low as, well, the Milwaukee pick's at 19 right now. But that could go even higher. It's a game away from 17. And that's probably as high as it's getting. So we need Detroit and the Clippers to win as many games as possible. Milwaukee and the Clippers play today. So hopefully we can see a little bit of reshuffling then. And hopefully the Houston pick, I think, has more of a chance of going around 23. But the Knicks don't have Brunson at the moment, so they probably are going to slide just a little bit, and that may give us a bit of a chance of getting a higher pick in the earlier 20s, which is usually where Marks strikes. So, yeah. Okay. I think keys to the second half, it's almost as simple as just seeing the shooting probably take an uptick. I think the defense has been pretty good. The shots we've allowed are probably the right ones. But then again, like if Boston were 50% from 3 and they doubled their 3-point output, it's like a 10-point lead to them. So I think it's more in the lap of Boston here. They need to shoot the ball a lot better in the second half and probably look to be a little bit more aggressive with the ball movement, because they've been a little bit one-dimensional in that first half, I do feel like. But there is a lot of basketball to still be played, so plenty of time to turn things around. I imagine there was some healthy discussions at the halftime break as a Boston official to sort of bring in a little bit more ball movement, try some new ways to force turnovers. Probably, I'm trying to think, probably a bit of on-ball pressure would help him out. All right. So, second half about to begin. I've just been exposed to watching Saraku Stock and Ryan Rucco bounce a basketball and take shots. All right. Second half, probably about to commence, and it has. So, second half begins with no changes to either starting 5 from the first quarter into the third quarter now. White on the outside, Johnson back in. White takes a dribble, drives in, shoots over Johnson. It's good defense. And Keon Johnson with the board. Russell's going to not accelerate, but within his ability, he's going to, well, push the pace and then hits a 3 to start the third quarter. A little step back. I feel like they're not really paying D'Lo much respect on the outside here, actually. Horford, the kick out to Porzingis. Derek White going to feed Porzingis. Touch pass to Horford in the corner, and that's a very healthy response. So, a 3 apiece in this second quarter to start, or second half to start, should I say. I don't know how I get those two things confused so much. Claxton. Johnson has an open 3, top of the key. He sets the feet, shoots and squares up and misses. Won't get a better look than that. Holiday to White. He's going to put another one up. That one's good. So, 2 threes without a miss to start. Derek White, 1 of 7 in the first half. So, if this 3-point shooting picks up, I think Boston are going to be well on their way, because that is basically their formula. Put up a bunch of threes and hope for the best, basically. Williams the drive, the Euro. Oh, I thought he nearly scooped that one home. It's off. Hauser with the board. White's going to drive on Russell. Turns the corner. Hangs and scores off glass. Tie the game at 52. They've got 8 in a row. I don't know the last time they led, but you'd have to go back a fair way. Johnson bounce to Russell. High screen Claxton. Russell staggers his way into the paint. Williams will hop into a 3. That one's off as well. Hauser the board. White's going to lob it into Horford. The pass was wayward. Little bit over the top. Nets get the steal. Williams through the legs. Euro step. Beautiful layup. That's a great handle by Z. And he's gotten a few more touches. Oh, beautiful block by CJ on the White drive. The Celtics reload and Horford's short on that one. Russell the board. Gonna pull up for 3 early in the clock. Nope. And a rebound by Boston. They're gonna push the pace. Porzingis the trailer. Here he is now. As I lose my voice trying to say his name. Porzingis is going to face up Keon Johnson. He's got the size, and that is just going to be an easy 2 every day of the week. So 9 minutes to play in the third quarter. Leaders, no more. It's all tied up. 54. Oh my God. D'Lo's going for a no-look. But the no-look was to no one because literally there was no off-ball movement that warranted a pass like that. He's just thrown it out of bounds. Derek White looking for Porzingis again. It looks like we're trying to switch that again, which I do not have any understanding as to why that's a thing. White's 3 is long again. Johnson gets a hand on it. Or correction, Porzingis got a hand on it. And that was directed out of bounds. So, play resumes. Nets opportunity to get that lead out to a little cushion. Johnson, good find to Keon Johnson. He, for some reason, pump faked, but that did not kill his rhythm. He hits the tray in the corner, and the lead's back up to 3. 4 minutes gone here in this third quarter now. Holiday, scoping the floor out. Knock away. Oh, wow. I thought Holiday was able to, or was going to lose the ball, but he was able to hold on to it. Forced the miss, though. Cam Johnson short on the 3. Good box out by Horford. Porzingis will get it early in the clock. Looking for the cut, but Johnson reads it and is able to get another steal. Lets the numbers fly by. Russell across to Cam Johnson. Rhythm 3. Still cannot score. Porzingis launches it full court and passed it straight to Russell. Johnson, the drive, goes to Porzingis. He's blocked. This is some end-to-end stuff right now. Horford's rim running. Holiday feeds to the trailer. White off one leg. Gets the banker. So, you feel like both teams should have gotten a bucket or 2 in that little extended sequence there. Celtics are 5 of 10 in the quarter. The Nets have struggled 30%. 3 of 10. Johnson's blitzed. Needs help. Russell. Give and go. Another block by Porzingis. 6 to shoot, and we're going to get a timeout here by, I would assume, Jordi Fernandez, because we need a little bit of a regroup. Only the 3 makes. And, look, the Nets still lead by 1. That's just been the way this game has gone today. Even for all the, even if we leave the door ajar for the opposition, they just haven't had the juice to really take hold of the game. Porzingis has been their clear best player by a long shot. The Nets have done well forcing a few steals in this quarter, or forcing a few turnovers, getting a few steals, but the Nets have, missed a ton of shots to sort of make up for that. And it's been pretty dead even in this third quarter. The Nets, their shooting has fallen off from the field and from 3 as well. Only 9 of 29 from deep. It's basically on par with Boston now. But we still have, three extra makes over them, given the 5 extra shots. But the free throws, still no one has taken a free throw in the quarter, but because of that, the gap has been maintained for Boston. Porzingis with the 16 and 7. He's got a couple of blocks to his name now, but he's been a heavy turnover merchant today. D'Lo's got the 11 with 3 threes. Cam Johnson not all that efficient here in this third quarter. He's missed quite a few opportunities from the outside, even though he's picked up a couple of steals or steal and a block in this quarter. So he's been busy, but not necessarily high in volume. Derek White up to the 10, but he has been jacking up shots. Already the 13 in the game. Oh, not great splits. Holiday, Hauser, and Horford doing pretty much the same, and Pritchard off the bench. Yet to play in this third quarter, but he is also following a similar trend. I feel like 100 points is going to be the magic number today to win this game. Because, yeah, like, we're nearly halfway through the quarter, and it's we've had 8 points and they have had 12. So it's not great. Alrighty. So play resumes, and I think Williams just hit a 3 off the inbounds. I'm watching yet another commentator hit shots in the underground tunnel. So, yeah. 60-56 the score. Pritchard now into the contest. Cater is also on the floor. Porzingis will sit. They got 6 to shoot. Let's see what they can do in these White and Pritchard minutes. White hangs and hits. Where was the foul there? Where the fuck is the foul there? I don't really understand what he's supposed to do in that defensive. Like, in that position, what are you supposed to do? He's got his arms up. I didn't even see a body bump. So White is all nylon on that free throw. Halfway through the third. D'Angelo. Surveying the floor. Claxton wants to set that screen. Now Cam Johnson. Gonna drive in. Picks up his dribble. Moves through. Oh my goodness. That is delicious. Oh my god. That was saucy. To not travel on that was just a work of art. White will shoot another 3, and that one, you can't complain about the defense. Just better offense in that situation, and Derek White's picked up the slack here in this third quarter. Understandably. It was going to happen at some point, I feel. Russell trying to shake and bake. The no-look to Williams, the drive in, the extra to Claxton on the dump-off. Beautiful kick out to Russell. It was a tough take. He shoots the 3. It killed off his rhythm, and Hauser gets the board. They can take the lead. The Boston Celtics, I don't think have led this quarter, but they have basically been involved in multiple ties for a number of minutes now. Pritchard's going to try one from way back, and there's nothing you can do about that. He's like 6 feet behind the line. So the lead is 3, and the Celtics lead for the first time since the first quarter. There's literally nothing you can do about that. So So 65-62. Yeah, I think this was going to happen at some point. This 3-point shooting was going to beef up, but it's so predictable, right? Like, that is the only thing they're good at. Like, defensively, they're good, but they are like if 3 and D was a team. Because like they've had 52 shots today, and 30 of those have been 3-pointers. I mean, we're pretty similar, granted, but like they spend 20 seconds of clock passing around and then just heave one up from 5 feet back, and it works out. Pritchard is 2 of 5 from deep. White has improved his scoring as this game has gone on. He started very slowly. It was 1 of 7 at halftime, I think, but now up to 6 of 15. So a far more efficient third quarter, and he is carrying their offense here in the second half. So not remotely surprising in the slightest. But the lead is 3. Okay. So it is the Celtics who have scored 21 in a quarter now. Granted, they've not scored 23 or more than 23 in a quarter today. So with over 5 minutes left, they are well on track for the 30 points that is probably a massive part of a lot of their games where they're exceeding 120 points. They were always prone to have a quarter like this, or always bound to have a quarter like this. Yeah, so 3-point lead. Play resumes, and the Nets have brought on, is that their entire bench? Williams and Keon Johnson still out there. Martin's nearly lost the ball. Does well to secure it. Johnson takes a dribble and then is able to use those springs to bounce up and flush it with both hands. Lewis, Martin, and Day'Ron Sharpe, the first 3 bench players on the floor. Cornette's out there for Boston. White playing some heavy minutes tonight, it feels like. Clowney's at the scorer's table. Cornette, good drive. He blew the dunk. Martin looks like he's hit with the personal. 2 shots here for Cornette. So, yep, that's definitely a hit on the head. So Cornette at the free throw line to shoot a pair. I don't know how good of a free throw shooter he is. That first one tells a story. He misses. Williams to the bench for Watford. And Keon Johnson to the bench for Clowney. So Cornette's second free throw is good. A mixed bag of results there on the trip to the charity stripe. Lead is 2 for Boston. Here's Martin on the outside. Clowney. Passing around the perimeter for the Nets. Watford now in a switch. He's got Pritchard on him. Swing to the corner for Clowney. Drive in. Doesn't get the layup to go. Body's on the floor. And all the while Day'Ron is putting up 2 on the offensive glass. And he ties the game at 66. So, all square. Looks like we're going to have a pretty close game down the stretch, I think. Hauser can't turn the corner. White guarded by Lewis. Crossover, puts up another tough 3. And that one is well short. Great defense by Lewis. Martin. Dayron rolls. Frees up the shooter. Clowney's got a look. That's off. Cornet with a little tap to Derek White. Pritchard, the swing to Hauser. He gets by the closeout. Fake the pass. Beautiful kick out. White's got an open look. You won't get a better look, and he still missed it. And the board by Lewis off hands. Inside the final 3 minutes of this third quarter, Watford's going to get it in the post. He's going to back down Hauser, who knocks it away. Crossover by Watford as he got it back, and he gets fouled, and he scores the 2. And one opportunity here for Trendon Watford. He's so unorthodox the way he plays in the modern NBA, but usually used to our advantage. And he's going to get a free throw here. The first free throw, I believe, between both teams in this third quarter. And it's not like he's going to capitalize on that. We're 4 of 7 from the line today. So not a high volume. Not a high volume, and equally, not a high conversion. The Nets only 18 assists, so they're going to have a nuclear fourth quarter with the assist number in order to break the record. Shireman's in the game for Boston. Pritchard and White still out there. White's played basically the entire quarter. Pritchard trying to attack Martin. It's good defense. Lewis helped one pass away and left White open. It's off. It's gone off the hands of the Celtics big, which was Cater. And it will be Nets ball. So the Nets with a narrow 2-point lead. Little over 2 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Watford takes it downhill. The scooper is good. Gets it back out to 4. Inside the final 2 minutes. See what I mean? This Nets bench are fucking holding up. Pritchard steps into one. That one's off as well. It's just 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. Clowney is going to put one up, as I say that, and miss badly. A good closeout by Cater. Good screen by Cornet, but he's going to get hit with an offensive foul for that. And I just cannot I'd be racking my brain over these offensive fouls on the screen. I have no idea what that looks like. I have no idea what an offensive foul is these days. I only know if, your legs are outside the line of your shoulders. I think that's illegal. And that's it. So, Clowney will inbound to Martin. And the Nets can get it out to a lead of 12, or half a dozen, should I say. Holiday back in. White is still out there. Dayron's going to back down Pritchard, and that's not smart when you don't know how to dribble a basketball. Holiday gives it to Pritchard. Torrey Craig is into the game as well. They're playing incredible small ball right now. Craig is like the small ball 5. Pritchard, 7 to shoot, tries to spin on him. Watford, that's good defense. He's forced the kick out. White's going to have to heave one up over Sharp, and that's off. Get the board, and Lewis does well. Inside the final minute now. Dayron, oh my God. There's a blocking foul off the ball. And Derek White is an unhappy man. He reckons that Dayron's just hit the deck and barreled him over. But the Celtics have hit a wall here in this in the last couple of minutes. I'm not entirely sure if that's an offensive foul or not. So they did have a foul to give. It has stopped the Nets in their tracks, but the Nets will have the basketball with a minute to play. Just about. Holiday is playing on Dayron Sharp right now. That is staggering news. So Martin on the outside. The high screen is set. Martin is going to shoot a step back 3. What the fuck? We've got Sharp on Holiday in the post. I know Holiday is a pretty good post player defensively, but really? Holiday's now got Sharp guarding him, so They can exploit this here. Holiday goes downhill, the extra to Shyman, and that is a nice little flip there. So 70 to 68. Nets have had a few opportunities to beef this lead up, but haven't been particularly polished in the last minute or so, last 2 minutes. Martin's going to use that high screen by Sharp. Good switching by Boston. 5 to shoot for the Nets. Clowney hangs off one leg, puts one up, it's off, and it's going to be out off. What? I thought that was our ball. There's 6 seconds left, and the Celtics can tie or take the lead with this last possession here. Ball goes in. It's Pritchard. He's going to heave one up from way back, I think. Nope, he's doubled. They hit the 3, but we had a foul to give. That is a great timing of a foul. The foul to give with 1.7 on the clock. So they can make subs, the Celtics, and bring in some shooting. But it's going to be particularly tougher than when they had the 6 in the backcourt. So Shyman's going to inbound. White is open. Oh my God. Splash. I thought Derek White was going to be freed up there because Watford was half asleep, but it ends up being the guy who inbounded the ball that heaves one up from way back. I don't know if he was ready, but you can always trust the random role player to hit big shots. And the Celtics get the lead heading into the fourth quarter. We did well, though, because they had 22 points, I think, with 4:41 to play. And then they just hit a complete wall. They only scored 27 in the quarter. I thought they were going to crack 30 nailed on. The Nets, though, only the 21 in the quarter. So it's going to take one 30-point quarter for you to win the game. I did say 100 was the magic number, and both teams will need 30 to get to 100. So I think the proof is in the pudding with, you know, the outputs scoring wise in the first 3 quarters. You know, both teams have not exceeded 27 points. That 27-point quarter by Boston was the best quarter of any team today offensively, which is not great. So I think there's definitely going to be an interesting fourth quarter ahead of us. Let me have a look at the box score and show you what's been going on. 16 to White, but he has been inefficient as hell. And Peyton Pritchard the same. Shyman's got 8 points and probably is the most efficient shooter today for Boston outside of Porzingis, which I don't think was on anyone's bingo card. For Brooklyn, amazingly enough, we are 3 quarters into the game and no one has more than 12. Zaire Williams has the most points for the Nets. D'Lo and Keon Johnson follow closely behind. Dayron's got the 9 points as well. But really, I said at halftime, this is basically going to come down to shooting. And I think we're seeing it now. With the threes Boston are making, granted, they are putting up a lot of 3-pointers and not shooting it particularly greatly. They did have a much better quarter, though. I think they were 5 or 6 of 12. So that's helped them drastically. The Nets are keeping themselves in this because they are not turning the ball over. But the free throw number, they have barely shot any today. And the 3-point shooting as well has sort of dropped away a little bit as the game's worn on. So, in the fourth quarter, they are going to need to, the Nets are going to need to lock in defensively, for sure. Especially from the outside as Watford gets us underway in the fourth quarter with the 2 to give the Nets the lead back. I think it'll be interesting at a timeout just to see what the situation was in the previous game we played against Boston. The game we lost 115-113. Shyman on the outside, the drive and kick. Holiday's got an open look. He gets by the closeout, hangs in the air, and does very, very well to score off glass with the defender right there. Lead is 1 for Boston. Watford on the outside. The drive on Craig. The Euro. Lobbed it in for Dayron, who mistimed it. Mistimed his jump. It was a little bit disjointed, that play. Probably not the right pass in the moment. Hauser's back on the floor, and he takes it in and scores for 2. And with the small ball they're playing, they got Craig at the 5. Fair bit of spacing there, so you have to leave that lane open. It's going to put a bit more pressure on the perimeter defenders, because usually we rely on defensive recovery, and that's just not going to be there when you've got numbers on the outside. We're very spread as a defense, but we do get a foul called under the basket, and it will be Tyrese Martin shooting free throws. So yeah, Trenton Watford, I don't think he's a great perimeter defender. Dayron Sharp is going to be tested. So if we want to help out defensively and rotate across, we're going to leave a 3-point shooter open, which is not that's going to be detrimental. Tyrese Martin at the line hits the first one. We're 5 of 8 today at the line. So 10:30 to play in the fourth quarter of this game. And Tyrese Martin makes both. So 1-point lead here for Boston, as it was at 3-quarter time. Pritchard to the corner for Craig, who Dayron is guarding. Smart idea. Pass to Pritchard. Kick out to Shyman. Hops into a 3, and here's the random bum that's going to hit shots against us. I mean, are we taking the fucking piss? Who is this guy? Didn't even know this guy at the start of the game. Well, I did, but I'd barely seen him play. And still didn't know his name. I just knew he existed. It's a 4-point lead. 5 to shoot. Watford's going to back down Pritchard. He's got the size, and he hangs off one leg again and doesn't even hit the rim. And Holiday's going to grab the rebound and push the pace. He goes at Clowney and Watford. The kick out. Craig's going to put one up. And he misses. Shyman, beautiful hustle on the glass. He'll give him another go. And Holiday misses the 3 as well. It's a great box out by Tyrese Martin. Martin's going to drive. Dayron open for the lob. Instead, we no-look it to the corner for Lewis. And that's going to be a blocking foul. So Max Lewis will go to the free throw line. Nets doing a good job of getting a few early looks at the charity stripe this quarter. So Max Lewis hasn't been as prolific in this game as he was in the previous 2. An opportunity for a couple big points here at the line. 78-75. The score right now. We got one more free throw ahead. Lewis to shoot 1. And that one is no good. There's a bit of hustle on the glass. The Nets get the rebound. What is Dayron doing? He got the offensive board. He had 3 open shooters above the break, and he's decided to go up himself. That's a typical Dayron move. Pritchard picks up his dribble in the paint. Hauser the 3 over Sharp. That one's off. Get the board. They're just hustling a little bit more. Holiday falling out of bounds, trying to bounce it off Martin, but it went straight into his lap, right in the pouch. And now Dayron's going to back Hauser down, and it's knocked away. It will be Nets ball. But the Celtics bench are playing with a lot more heart than they showed in the early portion, the earlier stages of the game. So 8:47 to play in the fourth. Lead is 3 for Boston. Nets will have the ball here with 15 on the clock. Clowney guarded by Hauser. Watford drives down the middle. Spin move to shoot with the right. He's fouled again. Dayron was there to put it back up and in for 2. It's not like even if they won the challenge anyway. Boston will challenge that, but we got the basketball immediately after. Are they going to challenge this? Is the green light going to come on? Looks like they may just be calling a timeout, I think, the Celtics. Because, yeah, that would have been Nets basketball anyway, even if they won the challenge. So, the timeout here at the 8:40 mark. Really could not tell you what a winning score is going to be today. I've said 100 is the magic number, though. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you are new, we'll be back for Nets versus the Indiana Pacers in either a couple days' time or at the end of the week, because we've got a back-to-back against Indiana at the same venue. So make sure to tune in for that one. What the hell? The Milwaukee Golden State game. Was that supposed to be? I'm pretty sure that was supposed to start at 12 o'clock. But it hasn't. I guess it starts later then. And I just didn't get the memo. Okay. When does that game start? Oh, it starts at 1 o'clock. Okay. I thought it started at 12:30 for some reason. Okay. So, lead is 3 for the Celtics. It's been pretty back and forth in this game. Not gonna lie. Okay, 8:40 to play in the fourth. Oh, they've challenged it. Okay, it's 2 free throws. So they've just lost the challenge. I don't think that was the best use of a challenge for Boston. So 78-75 the score. Okay. So Watford at the free throw line after that challenge on the Trendon Watford. Oh, well, Sam Hauser foul call was unsuccessful. Was on the Watford shot. Now these 2 free throws by Watford. Pretty important. But the Nets getting more free throws here in this quarter than they have in basically the whole game. However, they're not converting. Watford misses one of the 2. Now a 2-point game. They're going to need to work on this defensive end here. Porzingis back in. Presumably for the closing. Pritchard moves inside. The kick out of Shyman. The extra to Porzingis. Hops into a 3. He's short on that. Dayron knocks it to Watford. That's Kantai. Good screen by Dayron Sharp there. Watford takes it in and scores off glass. Great hard screen by Dayron, and it had the Celtics in a little bit of a mess defensively. They never got set. Holiday going to shoot a 3. That one's short. It ends up with Tyrese Martin. So 3-point shooting by Boston. Having a few ebbs and flows here in this game. Martin on the outside. Oh, beautiful hesitation and the make at the rim. Holiday was absolutely starstruck. He thought that three was going up, and he ended up 5 feet behind Martin. Porzingis. What the fuck? It's a whistle out front, and it looks like a bit of a hit on the arm. So, 7:30 to play. Nets up by 2. Definitely giving the Celtics a run for their money in this game, that's for sure. Horford's got an open look top of the key. That's his spot, but he also hits back iron. And the Celtics will reload with an offensive rebound there. Porzingis, kick out of Horford, the extra to Shyman, and he has been on one. He is the only guy who cannot fucking miss for them. Are we fucking taking the piss here? Oh my god. Who would have thought that was going to be the guy cooking us right now? Dayron. Clowney. Gonna try respond. No good. Porzingis. Dayron saves after Porzingis tried to hit it off him. Oh, he's feeling it. Heat check 3. Oh my god. That is so fucking bullshit. Oh my god. The luckiest bounce of all time. That looked like that was going to be so well short, and he's just pulled up and splashed one through. Couple threes in a row for Boston. He is leading them in scoring. I don't even know this guy's first name. He's 6 of 7 from the floor. He's 5 of 6 from 3 in 13 minutes. And he is somehow spearheading their charge. They're up to 14 threes made, but he has accounted for like a large portion of those. If it wasn't for him, this team would be in the pits. They're shooting like 25% from 3 without him. Nets aren't playing a bad game by any stretch. It's just the 3-point shooting. Once Boston get a hold of it, they are going to they're going to accelerate to the finish line. And it's come from a very unlikely source, but it doesn't really matter where it comes from in the end. I guess it just makes it a little bit more frustrating in the sense that it's that guy that's cooking us. The Nets have had some good outputs, though, from especially their bench today. Watford with 11 off the bench, Martin and Sharp with 9 each. In the context of the game where we don't have anyone with more than 12, I think it's a good output. Only the 6 turnovers as well. We're getting smashed on the glass, though. I think they've had a lot of offensive rebounds in the second half, and that's giving them a real opportunity to win this game. The free throw number, we've done a very good job of sort of evening that out in the the fourth quarter. We only had like six free throws in the first 3 quarters. We've had 7 in the quarter. Not necessarily doing a great job with the efficiency, but there's still plenty of time to make amends in that respect as well. Man, if it wasn't actually for this guy, though, that's hit like 3 3-pointers, Shyman, they actually cooked. Wish I could join the stream, but I have important work. Can always leave it on in the background, I guess. I don't know. But the work always takes precedence. He's keeping the tankers happy. He definitely is. And ironically enough, he probably is the exact sort of player a tanking team would have. So, 4-point lead here for Boston with a little over half a quarter to play. Shyman, the rookie out of I don't know where the hell, is just cooking us right now. He's leading the game in scoring with 17 on 7 shots. It's actually fucking unbelievable. Of all players to cook us, here's Cam Johnson. Into the paint, picks up his dribble, the C's parted and he put too much on it. Claxton missed the tip in. So the Celtics can beef up the scoring a little bit. Derek White hasn't seen floor action in this fourth quarter. Porzingis looking for Pritchard, fakes the pass. There's a foul on Claxton. It'll be 2 free throws for him. So Porzingis caused us major issues in the first half. Second half being a little bit more in the back seat. Porzingis' first rattles home. Keon Johnson and Zaire Williams check back in. 2 of the Nets in double figures today. Celtics have not led by more in the game. So 6-point lead here if Porzingis makes, and he does so. So 86-80. Russell off the left. Beautiful teardrop. So we halt the run there. They scored 8 consecutive. Scheiman with 6 of those. 4-point lead for Boston. Horford, the extra to the hot hand. Sidestepping threes, open again. Oh my God. This is actually fucked. He's got 20. Oh my God. The disrespect as well. Russell's going to try to respond and he silences the Boston crowd. But, that's a massive 2 buckets there for D'Lo. But we've just got to show this Scheiman bloke a bit of respect. Like, do not leave him open. Russell is the defender off ball. He's got to be a little bit more glued to him. Pritchard's hit a 3 now. Oh my God. It's an avalanche of threes at the moment. It's up to a 7-point lead. Russell's going to go again and misses this time. You can't make them all, but in the Celtics case, you absolutely can. So 92-85. Little over 4.5 minutes to play here in the fourth. Nets trailing by 7. Horford back out to Pritchard. He's just going to pull up from way back, isn't he? Nope. He drives in. That was a very, very unorthodox scoop, and it ends up being a stop for Brooklyn. D'Angelo holds. Wants the Claxton screen. The no-look to Keon Johnson, who will move into a 3, and that shot has improved as the season has worn on. That is a big shot as well. So 4 minutes to play, and the scoreline is at 4. We've got a foul out front, and that's a pretty phantom call. The Celtics are shooting over 40% in this second half from 3, and that tells you all you need to know about, well, how imperative the 3 is to their success. Literally 3-point merchants. I mean, if it works, it works, but they have just, spammed the outside ball. So Scheiman will now sit, and it's going to be interesting to see if the 3s fall. Porzingis is trapped, and he gets it to go +1. And, well, that's not a 3 ball, but it is potentially going to result in 3 points on that trip up this end of the floor. Gee, that's pretty tough. I don't know how the fuck that's a foul. The angle's not really doing it justice, so a free throw for Porzingis. And that one goes clank. So a 6-point game. Starters out there for Boston, except Hauser's not out there. Pritchard is. Russell, another deep 3, and he is shooting us out of this game, I think. Fair bit of inconsistency with the 3 ball today. Holiday, closely guarded by Russell. Takes it inside. He blew the finger roll. That's the second time today he's been short on a finger roll. Russell is running end to end. That pass isn't honored. Then Johnson finds him, and Russell's 3 is off again. Porzingis towers over for the rebound. And so, wow, a double dribble. You don't see those called very often, but that is very, very unforced. Under no pressure. And Geordie's going to call a use it or lose it. The use it or lose it timeout that he has available to him. With the Nets down 6, they've had a couple opportunities to tie this up, but the 3-ball literally is the name of the game because Russell's missed 3 in a row, and that's what's brought Boston into pole position to win this contest. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets versus Pacers later in the week, so make sure to drop in for that one. We've been playing some better basketball recently, a lot more competitive. Haven't lost a game by double figures, by double digits for a long, long time. So I think that's pretty good. I'll take these games every day of the week. If they result in losses, then so be it. But I want to see this team compete. So 3:15 to play. 94-88 the scoreline. Not long left in this match. Been pretty free-flowing for most of it, so... Alrighty. So, lead is 6, little over 3 minutes to play. Nets have got the ball after that double dribble by Al Horford. Russell gonna drive. Bounce pass out to Williams, who's gonna shoot a 3. No good. Claxton out of the game on that rebound because it bounced off the rim away from him. Celtics can build this lead back up. Scoreline is 94-88 inside the final 3 minutes now. Russell's guarding Porzingis on the edge of the paint. The double's going to arrive. The triple team even. Holiday the reverse. That's too easy. Interesting defensive scheme, but on to the next possession with Russell driving in. Kick out to Williams. I don't know if he was ready for it. Nearly got caught in the air, and then he just bounced past it out of play. And it will be Boston ball. So 96-88, and it has been not a fourth quarter to remember for Brooklyn. They've only got the 18 points. Boston with the 25. Horford, 2 minutes to play. Derek White at the logo, guarded by Williams. They're going to look for Porzingis. Knock away by Keon Johnson. The Nets have the numbers too. Johnson the kick out to Keon Johnson. Lets the defender go by, but Pritchard did well to recover defensively. The kick out to Russell, who sets the feet. That 3 hits back iron. I don't know how we didn't get even a shot up 10 seconds earlier. D'Lo's put up a lot of 3s, and a lot of them have gone clank. I think that's 4 in a row or 5 in a row in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Pritchard to Holiday. They'll feed Porzingis, who shoots off glass, and that is delicious. 10-point lead for Boston. Largest of the game. Nets have gone cold. They led 84-80, I'm pretty certain. Russell puts another 3 up and is going to get some potential reward here. It's going to be 3 shots for D'Lo on the outside. 1:24 to play in the game. I don't think that's going to count for too much. These 3 shots, but we'll keep the Nets in it. Oh my god, D'Lo's actually just fallen off a cliff in the last 5 minutes. I'm interested to see if we had a Tyrese Martin or someone out there, if we'd actually have been a few points better off. Second one goes clank and in. Lead is 9. D-Lo goes 2 of 3. Lead is 8. Nets are going to have to do something special from here. Oh, they just get it in time. I thought that was going to be a 5-second call. White loops it over to Pritchard, who is blitzed. Holiday to the corner for Horford, who lets it fly. That one's off. Johnson gets the board. They're going to need to move quickly with just a little over 60 seconds to play. Johnson accelerates, gets blocked by Porzingis, and it was on the sideline. If the Nets can get a little play off the sideline to result in a 3-ball, then I think we may still be in with a sniff. There's a foul away from the play. Oh my God, the ball hasn't even been inbounded. Nets will get a free throw and ball. I tell you what, if D'Lo would have made all 3 of his free throws, then it would be a 2-possession game, provided this free throw goes in. So Nets in the bonus now for the final minute. CJ's got to convert this though, and he does, truly. So back to a 7-point game with 66 seconds left in the match. So D'Lo's going to inbound on the baseline here. Looking for Cam Johnson, but instead it's going to have to go to Claxton. Cam Johnson. Doubled. Drive in. Pull up. Got it. With 58 seconds on the clock, it's a 5-point game. 2-possession contest. If the Nets can force a stop or get a steal, it's going to be interesting. But why on earth is Keon Johnson putting a hand on the side of Derek White? That is so stupid. They're going to call that every day of the week. Like, I don't understand what he's even thinking with that. That's a tanker's move right there. I mean, we were every opportunity to get this within a 1-possession game if we got a stop on that trip. Plenty of time too. Lead is now 6. So if he scores this, it will hit the magic number that I said about 2 quarters ago. 100 points. Ball's inbounded. Russell. We've got 50 seconds. We're going to need to move quick. Williams in rhythm. Yes! 47 seconds left. 4-point game. We do not need to foul. Oh, we nearly got the steal. Oh my God. And there's going to be a lob for Porzingis. I thought we had done it. Johnson lost his footing. He has been an absolute criminal in the last 30 seconds. How is there not a foul in that? Oh my God. Keon Johnson, mate, you have been a bit of a tank commander in the last 30 or so seconds. I think it's going to be a jump ball here. We were this close to getting the steal in the backcourt, and we would have had the numbers too. So with 35 to 45 seconds left, that would have been... we'd be very well positioned. It's Keon Johnson and Jrue Holiday in the jump ball. Keon's got the hops. So, well, I thought he was going to win this, but for some reason, it's usually the unlikely party that always wins. And Jrue Holiday had that. Little bit over Keon in terms of reflexes. So 29 seconds left. Horford 76% on his career from the line. 90% this season though, so a very good free throw shooter. And that makes it 7. So giving up that Porzingis dunk on the full court press was probably the final nail in the coffin. But the Nets have put forth a valiant effort tonight. I don't know why I said effort as if that's a word. Horford misses one of two. Got to get that board. It's a 7-point game. Got to score right now. D'Lo's using a few seconds of clock here, trying to find an option. He's going to put a 3 up, falling away. Hits back iron. Porzingis with the board. Oh, what? Zaire thought he got the steal. He had knocked it away from Porzingis after he collected the rebound. Will Geordie foul that for... Or will Geordie call a challenge for shits and gigs? He will. We've got 2 timeouts remaining, so... Why not? Interested to see if he got all ball on this one. Good heads-up play by Zaire to track down the ball after that rebound. Yeah, he's hit him on the arm for sure. That is not going to be a successful challenge. That's more just a desperation play than anything. Shyman's up to 20. Most points in a game by a Celtics rookie since Pritchard had in 2021. Yeah, no, he's been... It's just so, like, left of field. The Celtics always have a backup shooter whenever the top player is out. I just don't understand where they find these players. Well, this Shyman bloke's apparently 24, but, like, if it's not Pritchard, it's White. If it's not White, it's Pritchard. If it's not either of them, it's this Shyman bloke. Porzingis as well, you know, like... Told you the Celtics were too strong. I don't even think they've necessarily played well at all. Like, they've only got 104 points. If it wasn't for that Shyman bloke who's been on the end of their bench, like, how... Like, not even you could have predicted that, Danny. Shyman. Here we go. Baylor Shyman. He is averaging 2 points a game, shooting 20% from 3 and 27% from the field. He is averaging... How many... He's averaging 8 minutes a game. 8 minutes a game. And he's got 20. So... It hasn't even been down to their mainstays. Porzingis misses another free throw. I honestly think if they didn't have that Shyman bloke playing today, well, they probably wouldn't win the game. Because he's actually been huge for them in the second half. I don't even know how many points he had, but it wasn't many at halftime, if any. Maybe like 5 or something. D'Lo's going to have to shoot another step back 3, and that one's off. And that is going to be all she wrote for this game. It is 104-96, the final. We said 100 points was the magic number, and Boston exceeded that, and we're the only team to do so, and thus they win this game by a grand total of 8. The Nets get 26 in that fourth quarter. Actually, the most they scored in a quarter today. But Boston improved as the game went on and scored 60 in the second half to win this one by 8 points. And I tell you what, I did not have this on my bingo card, but Baylor Shyman, didn't know his name beforehand, had seen him around wearing a Celtics uniform before. He ended up with 20 points, which was the second most points on the entire court, going 7 of 8 from the field and 6 of 7 from deep. Now, if you remove him from the conversations, the Celtics are shooting worse than 25% from 3, and that is the recipe for a loss in any situation. The Nets had 8 extra shots, believe it or not. But the 3-point shooting, I said that was key. They only had 6 threes in the first half, Boston. And this Shyman bloke came alive in the second half. And, you know, the bench unit was pretty strong for Brooklyn in the first half. I think that was the big difference. In the second half, I didn't really think the points were going to come from anyone else other than Pritchard off the bench. And he only ended up with the... Well, I can't even see it because for some reason it's not updating. Here we go. Pritchard only had the 10 points in the game on 3 of 9 shooting. So we defended him pretty well. And we also defended Derek White pretty well. He was 6 of 19 in the game and had 4 turnovers. But Porzingis was massive, especially in the first half. And then this Shyman guy is like a 24-year-old rookie. In 15 minutes had one of the better cameos you will see and scored 20 For the Nets, we got 18 from D'Lo, but my goodness, he went from like a beautiful efficiency in the first half to in the fourth quarter going about 1 of 10, it feels like. Zaire with the 15, Keon Johnson with the 13, Cam Johnson not nearly as prolific as he usually is with 11 points in this match, and Claxton did not score a point in the second half. Trenton Watford with 11 off the bench, Sharp and Martin getting involved, but overall, like, not a bad performance. The turnovers well down, which is a great sign. The free throw number improved in the second half, and probably exceeded Boston at one point until we had to start playing the foul game. But the turnovers did dry up for them in the back end of the second half, and that really helped them out with those threes that they were hitting. Points off turnovers, didn't get as many points off turnovers in that second half as I think we would have liked. And the rebounding, they killed us by 9. The offensive rebounding actually was in our favor, surprisingly. But the assist number really took a hit in the second half, only 7 assists. And that correlated with a fair drop-off in points. Actually, no, not really. We nearly had the same amount of points in the second half as we did in the first half. But the defense just wasn't doing it for us. As I said, the three-point shooting is literally the name of the game with Boston. They only had 38 points in the paint. And usually we get smacked for points in the paint because we're a three-point shooting team as well. But they were just, like, they actually matched us for points in the paint. So it was like watching two similar systems at work, but they actually needed a 24-year-old rookie to bail them out. And look, I'm not complaining because every loss helps us out in terms of getting that higher draft pick. But, you know, you would have liked to have seen someone else completely kill us as opposed to this guy who is averaging 2 points a game. And he's gone out there and scored 20 on 6 of 7 from 3. Only the 3 fast break points as well, which is quite staggering to me. And yeah, the 3-point shooting took a hit for us. We ended up at 29% from deep. After we started, I think about 40% from 3. We were like 6 of 15 and we went 7 of 30, which is not great at all. That's sub 25%. So things normalized by the end of the game. This one is all done though. I will talk to you for the next watch along. We will be doing Nets Pacers. So that will be on Friday or Sunday if you're here in Australia, Saturday or Thursday if you're in America. But that'll do it from me. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. I will catch you, in a couple of days' time. Stay safe. Talk to you soon. And see you in a bit. Bye for now.